Guys, I raised a special question before you. I'd like to answer the question and I'd expect your evaluation, your comments in the section below. So let's get started. In the media world, you see the husbands and wives are heroes and heroines, right? So in every country, you'll find that a lot of heroes have married their heroines, right? But here I've shown you that these are very special heroes and heroines in Bangladesh, but they were not married. What would have happened if they had married, right? I'm talking about Salman Shah and Mousumi and Shabnur and Riaz. Right, let's get started. Many of you may know that Salman and Mousumi were living in Khulna in their childhood. They were studying in a school and they were very good friends, their childhood friends actually. And during tiffin periods, even they visited houses and they shared food and they were very good friends, right? It happens. And then Salman's family moved to Dhaka. That's how there were separations between Salman and Mousumi. Later, Mousumi and her family came to Dhaka, started living there. And once upon a time, Mousumi was studying in a coaching center in Mohammadpur, Dhaka, and there Salman Shah was also there. And that's how they met each other. After a long time, they became very good friends. And after some years, what happened? Mousumi got an offer to act against Salman, but she was not sure whether it was that Salman or somebody else. She was waiting and she was anxious. She thought that might be Salman. And when he turned up, she found that it was Salman. So they were surprised. They acted in that film. And later they became even better friends. They had very good time. Like Rajak and Kaburi, everybody knows. So they were very good friends. And Mousumi tells that they did not have relationship in that kind of relationship. They were not involved. So whatever. So in a film, what happens? We see that when a man or a boy meets a girl and something happens, then they get together, they fall in love with each other and they eventually marry each other. But here in this film, it's quite exotic, quite rare that Salman Shah was not in love with Mousumi. Mousumi was not in love with Salman. But what happened if they got married, right? So what I understand is that if Mousumi and Salman were married, Salman would not have died. There's a confusion whether he was killed or he died, he committed suicide. What we all know is that Salman's wife was suspicious about Salman Shah because Shabnur was in very good relationship with him. She even visited his house and they had very good friendship. Shabnur says that there was nothing beyond that. There was only a little relationship, right? And because of a lot of torture, maybe mental torture, she had inflicted upon her husband Salman, and he could not tolerate it, and at one point he committed suicide or anything like he was murdered. More likely that Salman Shah committed suicide because his wife misunderstood him, had a lot of conjugal conflict. That was maybe the reason. All we can suppose, all we can guess. And let's come back to Shabnur and Riaz. You know, so they are very good. Pair in Bangladeshi film industry. And what I found is that I thought that even when Shabnur doesn't act against Riaz, the film will be hit. But if Riaz doesn't act against Shabnur, the film will not be hit or something like that. So it proved, something proves my idea. Long ago there was a film, Erinam Dosti. It was starred by Shabnur and Shakil, and it was the best film I found. And my idea was right. How? Maybe 2 weeks later, I got the news that Australian embassy took the film and put it in the archive. The name of the film, as I said, Eri Nam Dosti, and this film I told you, Shabnur and Shakil starred in the film. So what it means is that without Shabnur, Riaz is not as good as he does in film industry. On the other hand, in terms of conjugal life, in terms of family life, what I say is that without Riaz, Shabnur is nothing in the conjugal life. How I say, Shabnur filed a divorce case, and Shabnur got divorced. There was separation between Shabnur and her husband. They had been separating for a long time. At one point, she filed a case against, and she sought for divorce. Okay, so Shabnur told that her husband even tortured her, and Shabnur also alleges that her husband used to drink, so he was a drunkard. So, in different ways, what we understand is that Shabnur did not find a good husband. So, in Bangla, what we say in English is that if you are a very good girl, you can't get a husband. If you are a very good cook or a homemaker, you cannot get a husband like that. So Shabnur was not only beautiful and very good in acting, but also her manners, her attitude, her behavior, her honesty are all praiseworthy. All the uh, people in the film industry, FTC, they say, even Vidal says that in every way Shabnur is the best. So I don't know whether there might be something hidden in her only the husband can see. If I talk about it, I should mention NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. There are people who are even malignant narcissists. So sometimes it happens that if a wife has been suffering from NPD, narcissistic point of view, she is not understood by the people outside. It's only understood by the husband. So it may happen like that Shabnur had NPD traits nobody knew, but her husband knew. But I don't think it is likely. It's likely that Shabnur was absolutely fine, but unfortunately her husband used to drink and he was so angry or whatever, and that's why he even beat her like that, and at one point she had to divorce him. If it is the case, then what I should say is that if she married Riaz, there would have been very nice relationship between them. The conjugal life would have been very good. So what I say in conclusion is that in film industry, Riaz is nothing without Shabnur, and in conjugal life, Shabnur is nothing without Riaz. Let's see your valuable comments. Thanks for watching.